You have probably felt attracted at one point in your journey to learn pickup lines, to learn routines, to learn technical game. I know I did. Like a few years ago, I was deep into that, right? I was trying to find the specific pickup line for the one situation. I was really interested in routines so that I can generate attraction on my dates. I was learning all the different techniques like open loops, hoops, DHV. Like, I could go on and on and on about this, right? Now, the problem with learning pickup lines is that you will probably not create long term attraction, right? That's one of the trap. It's not the main trap, yeah? In this video, I'm going to share with you really the trap that you always fall into. And that's why you're attracted to learn pickup lines. And of course, if you learn pickup lines, it might work in the short term, right? You might be able to create an emotional reaction from a woman. Maybe she's going to start giggling, right? Because you used a good line on her. So it feels good, right? It's a good quick fix. It's a very good quick fix. But it doesn't really solve the issue, right? So let's first start to define what is the purpose of using a line or a routine or technical game. It's super simple. You want to create a desired outcome. I mean, pretty self-explanatory here. Like, you probably get rejected by women whenever you go outside. You don't get the results you want. You feel a little bit frustrated, maybe lonely. And of course, you have a genuine desire to connect with a woman. So it's so natural to fall into, let's learn pickup line. Let's learn routines. Let's learn the technical game. I have heard a dating coach saying that learning these psychological tricks will help me attract her. Makes sense. I mean, like, if you look at it logically, it makes sense. Like, a few years ago, it made sense to me and I started to learn it as well. Nothing against that. Now, here's the trap. You didn't ask yourself this question. From which place am I coming from when I want to use lines and routines? From which place am I coming from? Am I coming from scarcity? Am I coming from abundance? Am I coming from confidence? Am I coming from feeling good enough? Am I coming from fear? Am I coming from insecurity? Am I coming from a shadow? Really ask yourself this question. So there are three different scenarios or options that can happen when you ask yourself this question. The first one is pretty obvious. I mean, the majority of guys usually are attracted to learn lines and routines because they don't feel good enough, they don't feel confident, they don't feel attractive. Now, let me tell you this. Feeling attractive is different than being attractive, though they can be connected with each other. Yeah. If you feel attractive, naturally, and this is the maybe a bit woo-woo kind of stuff, but if you feel attractive, naturally you'll be attractive, right? Which means that you don't have to dress super well, you don't have to have all the money in the world, you don't have to have crazy statues and stuff like that. This is literally what happened to me when I met my girlfriend. I was broke, like literally broke. I had 1,500 euros in my bank account, no savings, no portfolio, none of that. 1.5k euros. Yeah, that's what I had in my bank account when I met her. She knew about it. I didn't dress too well back then because I was deeply into yoga and spirituality, so I didn't care about the way I looked, right? And still, she was attracted to me. Still, she wanted to be in a relationship with me. Yet, I have nothing to give to her in terms of that, in terms of material stuff, right? And that's because, of course, she was attracted by my vibe. And don't, because we can look at it as like, oh, but you don't make any money, so why would you want to be in a relationship? Well, I was very purposeful and very ambitious at the time when I met her. So she felt that, yeah. And having a purpose is much more important than having tons of money. Women are much more interested in you if you have a strong direction that is leading your life, right? So when you don't feel good enough and confident, if you want to learn lines and routines, you fall into the trap because you're trying to avoid the issue. The issue is not learning the lines or the routines because you don't know what to say. or you don't know the psychology of a woman. The issue is you don't feel good enough, you don't feel confident, you don't feel attractive. You have to deal with that. And the only way to deal with that is through internal work combined with external aligned actions. If you watch some of my previous videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Yeah. Now, if you're someone that feels confident, maybe you feel confident when you meet women, but you still feel attracted to learn lines and routines, then I want to ask you this one question. What would happen if you would let go of lines and routines? What would happen? The probable answer that would come out is, oh, if I don't use lines and routines, she will not be attracted to me anymore, right? I won't have this much power over her. I won't be that much playful anymore. And then it's a issue that is connected to your worthiness, and in that case, your unworthiness, confidence and self-love and all of that. And that's also connected to doing the internal work, right? And the third option that can happen is you feel good enough, you don't feel the need to use lines or routines, right? You feel confident, you feel self-love and all of that, and you're not attracted to this. And this is the final stage, of course, when you've done enough internal work, when you've had enough experiences that represent the work that you've done internally, meaning that you're doing the work internally, right? You're solving those unworthiness, fear, anxiety, whatever you have. And then you start taking action and you start to have proof that, oh, the work that I did internally is now manifesting outside of myself. Cool. Boom. And then that's when you truly embody real confidence and stuff like that, right? Now, why doing the internal work will make you more confident and attractive with women, right? Because I keep on talking about doing the internal work, of course, because it changed my life and I'm here to share my message. Some of you will resonate with this, some of you will not, and that's okay. Like if you don't resonate with my message, please skip the video. I'm not for you because I'm someone that has been massively impacted by doing the internal work. It has changed absolutely everything. And that's why I'm sharing this video with you, right? So the beauty of doing the internal work, the inner work, is that you deal with the root cause of your unworthiness. You deal with the root cause of why you don't feel confident. You deal with the root cause of why you don't feel attractive in your own skin. And again, I don't care if you think that you're ugly according to the standards. Everyone can feel attractive. Everyone can love themselves. Everyone can embody real confidence. And this changes the game completely. And that's the beauty of doing the internal work, is that you actually go at the root cause of your unworthiness and lack of confidence and stuff like that. And it usually comes down to your childhood. There are a few experiences that happened to you that probably led you to believe that you're not powerful, that you're not strong, that you're not enough. And then this story, this limiting belief, keeps on repeating itself in your mind, maybe on the back of your mind, because you don't really realize it, right? That's basically a shadow in that case. It's something that you don't see, yet it keeps on happening to you, right? Of course, changing internally will naturally shift the way you approach dating. Like I said, if you start feeling genuine confidence, if you start to feel attractive, if you start to love yourself, if you start to feel enough, how would the dating life, your dating life, look like from that place? And you will see that it's a very, very different way of living life. Maybe you don't feel the need to go out every day and meet tons of women. Maybe you don't even feel the need to date yet, right? Right now you feel like, okay, for now I'm just going to enjoy being myself, being single and all of that. And then later on I want to date. Maybe you want to actually go outside, right? You're like, oh fuck, I feel so confident. I want to enjoy life now. I want to expose myself even more. So you start going out even more and you create more and more dating opportunities, right? This is the beauty of doing this kind of work. And of course, no mask needed. Whenever you use the line of another coach or your friend or Dan Bilzerian or whatever, you are taking the mask of that person and you put it on your face, right? It's not really you speaking. It's Dan Bilzerian, it's this coach, it's this person, this friend. It's not really you speaking from your truth. So what does it mean? It means that at one point, if you start dating with this woman, because the thing about lines, routines, and all of this is that it can work, right? I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It can work, but until when it works, right? Because the real you will eventually come to the surface. Every woman will see it and feel it. Every woman. It's just a matter of time. So you can hide and pretend to be this confident, alpha, bravado kind of guy, but eventually she will see it. So, as you want, as you want. I warned you. Of course, when you do the internal work, you have permanent change. This is the beauty of, I mean, I'm so in love with this, so of course, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I love doing the internal work because everything that I do, I know that I don't need to come back to it, right? I don't have to be my old self again because I was able to rewrite my subconscious block, to convert my limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. I was able to start to feel confident and all of that. And now I don't need to go back to my old self. It's fully integrated. There's not even a fear of like, oh, what if I lose my confidence? There's not even that fear in my system and in the system of my clients because we've done enough internal work to embody this kind of stuff, right? And the last thing that I want to mention about the power of doing the internal work is that you will attract your type. You will stop settling. Because it's very common for guys that learn pickup lines that because they don't feel good enough, because they don't feel confident, they end up attracting a woman they don't really, really want to be with. Maybe she's not that attractive. Maybe she has red flags, and because, of course, you haven't done any kind of internal work, you're willing to accept it. When you've done internal work, proper internal work, you're not willing to accept anything except your highest standards. Thank you for watching. That's it. If you're interested in getting a free course on how to attract at least one date a week, I'm literally sharing the whole framework to you for free. Like you can just get it, puff, and then you start implementing the practices and stuff like that. Just click on the link down below. It's in the description. You just have to give me your email. You can unsubscribe from the newsletter anytime you want. All good. I'm not going to spam you or any of that. And thank you. I see you.